Evan McCarthy said, what balance should I have between this course, the Mandarin Blueprint Method, and the pronunciation mastery course? Should I finish pronunciation first or in parallel? Now, I believe I actually answered that myself before. And that, what we would say is basically, if you are absolute zero, then try and get through the pronunciation mastery as quick as you can, get the basics, like watch the main content videos, not necessarily the bonus stuff. Start reviewing the flashcards, and then start the Mandarin Blueprint Method, because we actually make changes based on pinyin, right? So, you know, we're learning the pronunciations of these characters by choosing actors and sets to represent the finals and initials and stuff. So it's really good to have a grasp of actual pinyin, because the version of the pinyin chart we use for this is sort of slightly different.
Right.
So yeah, I would say if you're an absolute beginner, pronunciation first. But if you know if you've already got some basics, then do them both together.
Yeah, and I mean there is one of the sort of key elements of our blueprint is that you start each individual section, each individual layer, pronunciation, characters, vocabulary, grammar acquisition. You take a period of time where that's your main focus before you start adding in the next layer. Now, you don't have to completely finish it necessarily, although it is possible with pronunciation more so than the other layers, but you don't have to completely finish it before you move on. Just recognize that you need to spend a good amount of time on each layer by itself to some degree. It's not that you don't keep learning characters as you learn vocabulary, but when you reach the vocabulary layer, which is phase 3 of the course, we say, okay, like think about this a bit more than you did before. Oh, we're in grammar now. Okay, think about that a bit more than before. Individual sentences for a while. And then eventually we go, okay, now focus more on the longer dialogues, the longer opinions where there's a bit more context. And, you know, so you just move in a reasonable linear fashion through the course. And yeah, pronunciation is a little bit of a separate animal, which is why it's a separate course. But, you know, I agree with Luke overall that if you don't know anything about pinyin at all, better idea to finish the pronunciation course first.